So hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of the 12 Days of Switchmas for 2024. And if you're unfamiliar with this series, basically I do this every year in December, and basically it's a series where I rank the games that released on the Switch throughout the year that I've played, and it starts off with my least favorite, and then it goes all the way down to my favorite. So yeah, the first one here is Endless Ocean Luminous. At first, I kind of enjoyed this game, but then I kind of realized there really isn't that much to it, and it's kind of disappointing, especially for the price. I don't think it's a bad game, because I definitely think there are a lot of good elements of it, and it definitely has a good appeal. I actually haven't played the other Endless Ocean games, but I can kind of see the appeal of the series, like with some of the elements in this game. Like, I think it's very relaxing, and it's kind of fun to like look around and like search for different like sea creatures and things, and kind of like explore different areas. But at the same time, I feel like the formula here is very lackluster, and from what I've heard, like, including people who've played the other games in the series before, that's not just something that I feel. It's really kind of a problem with this game. And it's especially a problem since this is $50, nearly full price. And it really just seems like the gameplay loop is very repetitive, and it really doesn't have that much to offer. Like, you're kind of going around scanning like different animals and sea creatures and things, or finding different objects, and I mean, well, I don't have anything against that gameplay formula, because I feel like it could be executed better. Like, I feel like, from what I've heard, the other Endless Ocean games executed like its gameplay a lot better than this, but in the case of this game, there really isn't that much to it. It feels like a lot of these aspects were probably stripped back because of the online multiplayer. Nintendo seems to have been doing that a lot with certain games during the Switch era. They kind of did it for Mario Golf Super Rush. Even though I kind of enjoy that game, it definitely is kind of lackluster compared to the other Mario Golf games, because they did strip down some elements to kind of account for like the speed golf mode and things like that. It kind of feels like they did something similar here with Endless Ocean. Also, kind of Nintendo Switch Sports. I feel like that's even more egregious, kind of like with what that game does. To kind of limit itself. But yeah, Endless Ocean Luminous is just a pretty lackluster game. Definitely not worth $50. There's also like a story mode too. I haven't finished it, but from what I've played, it really just feels like a glorified tutorial. I really don't like when story modes are like that, unless it's something that's kind of shoved off to the side. But yeah, one aspect that I do kind of like about this game is the fact that the areas are kind of like randomly generated. I think that's pretty cool. There's definitely like a lot of potential for that, like, because it's actually fun to explore these kind of like different generated areas and things, because it's gonna make things a little more interesting. Even though the gameplay formula is pretty repetitive and lackluster, at least it has that going for it. That is one thing that did kind of immerse me into this game a little bit, and it's why I did kind of enjoy it a little bit when I played it like for the first time and everything. So yeah, and another kind of nitpick, one thing that I don't really like, is the AI voice. I've always had a problem with those like AI voices, like the ones on like TikTok and stuff like that. I don't use TikTok, but like I've seen like a lot of like videos that use those also YouTube Shorts kind of uses those voices as well. You know what I mean if you've heard those AI voices. I don't really like them. It kind of sounds a little dystopian to me, and the AI companion character kind of has a voice like that, and I don't really like that. It doesn't really seem like a Nintendo thing. Like, I mean, and I kind of mean that in a negative way, because it kind of feels a little soulless, in my opinion. And I'm not using that term lightly. But yeah, it's just kind of weird, but it's still, like, you can turn it off, at least. So I'm glad you can do that. But yeah, this game, while it isn't bad, there really isn't much to it. So that's why it's kind of my least favorite one of the year. I'd probably give it like a 5 or 6 out of 10, I'd say. Like, there's some enjoyment to have out of it, but I feel like it would have been much better if it was like a $15 title, I would say. But of course, considering the fact that it's a Nintendo published game, of course it's $50. But yeah. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Goodbye.